really wasn't, and how long was that an issue for you?
It was a freak accident. It was much more fast expected than anything. I've never expected to get injured, especially for a camp that far along and then 2 weeks short notice. It was a pain in the ass. You had blood in the lungs. One doctor said collapsed lung. Another said blood in the lung. I wanted to go fight, so the first thing was to contact my manager. They said, due to health reasons, we're going to have to this fight.
And talk us through how it even happened in the first place. What kind of an injury led to that?
I'm not sure. There's a difference between training with walls and difference in training with cage walls, I guess you could say. And then it just kind of all happened over time. Like I said, freak accident. When have you ever heard of me pulling out of a fight? Never. So it was one of those injuries that just accumulated over time. I thought I could tough it out. Started on a Wednesday, ended on a Saturday night. Emergency room on Sunday, and I literally couldn't get out of bed for like literally about a week and a half. It was the shittiest thing in the world.
Well, we know at the same time, you have your baby, to celebrate, but I know this was really upsetting to you. So what was your emotional state like as you were going through that?
Happy and just kind of crazy. There's more mixed feelings when I saw Khabib, number 1 in the world now, number 2 in the world now. Pretty upset that he took the fight against a project manager when he wouldn't wait a couple weeks to get an actual legitimate fight that the fans and the fight fans and everybody else, the boss, everybody wanted this fight. I wanted this fight. We signed on the dotted line a couple times, and unfortunately it just didn't happen. And timelines are different. His timeline's a little bit different than mine. I'm not saying he doesn't want to fight, but I'm a very scary opponent for this division. At 155 pounds, I don't walk around 155 pounds. Right now I'm about 190 right now, and I feel great. I changed a couple things up in this camp, and I'm ready to take that title. This is my time. And, this year, next year,
What did the doctor say about the possibility of that injury resurfacing?
They said unlikely. I just had to rest. Something that's not in my vocabulary, not even close. So when somebody says rest, that means absolutely doing nothing. Well, there's a will and a want, and I wanted to keep moving all the time, but I knew what was best for me, so I had to take some advice, which is really hard for me because I hate being coached. It's just one of those things. And so I had to just kind of suck it up, listen to my wife and listen to the doctors, and go from there. Fortunately, we had a blessing with our baby, and I was able to use that as a helper for my getting better because I didn't want to not be able to hold my baby up. That was something I had to do. That's just a man thing.
When you say cage walls and other walls, what do you mean by that and by how the injury came about?
Just a little recommendation. Like if you're going to trade against a guy that's going to be putting a lot of pressure, you got to rush a sambo fighter that's going to put some pressure, get his hands underneath, double underhooks, take you down. Well, I was training against a cage or a wall that had just a padding, and the only thing I could think of is that we hit it so many times and so hard that it just started accumulating over time. And we were really prepared for this guy. I mean, really, for him to put that much pressure on me, it wasn't that much pressure at all. And like I said, I do a lot of Granbies and flips, barrel rolls, and Minari rolls, and any kind of rolls you want to think of, even Danish ones.
What do you make of Chiesa as an opponent now that you have that fight?
He's a great opponent. I think right now I wanted to stay busy. I called up Joe and I texted Dana, and we both agreed. I was pissed. As soon as I saw that fight with Khabib, and I couldn't go in shadow box or nothing. I sat there and I was just sitting there, just clenching my teeth the whole entire time. And I wanted to get back in. And the only person that had the balls to do it was Michael Chiesa. I give that to Maverick, so I'll give that one round. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna do work. I'm not gonna try to get any mat time. This is do or die. This is business now. This is Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This is the first time it's gonna be there. I want to make sure that we want to be invited back there again. So we're gonna make it a good fight.
Do you usually walk at 190?
I flirted with about 205. It depends on the time of day.
The Danish rolls?
Danish rolls, man. Late night runs to get some good fast food, and it's been a different change since you guys have seen me grow since Ultimate Fighter, becoming as a better fighter and a better man, just being able to provide for my family. It's pretty cool to be able to sit there and get that, not just I got an old man strength now, but now I got the father strength now.
It's not uncommon for husbands to gain weight along with their pregnant wives.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty cool, and I told my wife, I was like, you know what, I don't mind it. I really don't. But I have to go run.
Is it going to be tough getting back to fight weight?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm a wrestler. I've been wrestling my whole entire life. USA Wrestling is embedded in my head. It's what I know. Just weight one time, and that was it. But I'll be close to weight, and as soon as we kick in some other stuff, into high gear. I got a different coach too for as far as my strength and conditioning. They do a lot of combined stuff for athletes that are going into the NFL and Major League Baseball and Major League Soccer. So I went there, took a chance, and I started kind of getting intellectual with this trainer. His name's Sean, out of Stars in Orange County, Anaheim Athletic Center. Probably one of the best decisions I could do to get out of my own rut by not trying to be coached. Go in there, put some numbers behind it, let's do what we have to do, and let's get the job done.
Well, what do you make of some of the new weight cutting policies that will be implemented, and like for instance, coming in at 8% of the weight? What do you make of all of the changes?
I've never missed weight in the UFC. I don't think I've even came close to being a quarter pound over. I'm always on point. If I put the weight on, I'll take it back off. And I know better than eat the sweets and beforehand, and this is just a professional sport now. So regardless of whatever stipulations or rules or managements that they're going to have as far as myself being a professional, I'll say I'll handle it like a professional, and I'll make sure I'm always on weight.
But just generally, are you in favor of some of the changes? Do you like them, or do you think that
They don't affect me, put
Okay.
it that way. I'm a professional, I'm a champion in what I do, and I always show up on time and on weight.
Tony, have you been told that if you beat Michael that you'll finally get that title shot?
I haven't been told anything. The only thing I've been told is what I requested. I requested a fight. And Michael Chiesa, like I said, had the balls to be able to call me out. And I've never heard anybody call me out. I don't think anybody wants to. But out of no animosity and as of a creative fighter, I think it's going to bring a lot out of me. And I think the same thing with Michael Chiesa. If he's looking past me, that's his big mistake. He's going to walk out first. I'm going to walk out second. So I got my play music playing on. He's going to have his head nodded. And I'm going to look at him and be like, I got you, buddy.
Can you take us back to April 16th when you're sitting there watching him beat Dariush? What did you think of his performance? And then you hear him on national television actually ask to fight you. What was your reaction wherever you were?
When Beneil and Maverick fought, I don't know. I don't think that was the best Dariush that he was out there. I think he made a couple of mistakes, and Michael had to take a poop beforehand. So I mean, it was just one of those fights that was going to go one or the other, and he took his back. And I think they thought that it was going to be a stand-up war at Kings, and they needed to prepare better for different kinds of guys, especially at Ultimate Fighter. We're bred as a mixed martial artist. We're not just a stand-up fighter, not just a ground game. You know, once you're there, you're trying to learn absolutely everything from every coach that they bring on there. And I think Michael Chiesa is probably one of the ones, and same thing with Michael Bisping, who's fighting tonight. And I can say that when you're a tough guy, you're a little bit different. So that's why he got that victory.
One of the things.
Sorry, just one other
Go
question.
ahead.
I was wondering if you had any thoughts, any anecdotes. I don't know if Muhammad Ali was a hero of yours growing up, but just as a fighter, it's always interesting to hear, your perspective on the passing of such a legend. Anything that you can share?
I was walking down the way and I saw a clip of it, and I saw him passing away. I didn't really know. Just been so busy lately. But that dude's a legend. I mean, to be able to talk the talk and walk the walk and do your thing and pave that way for so many fighters and athletes alone, to be able to be like, man, that dude's doing it, man. And you want to open up and you want to kind of be like that. That's an inspiration. That's an idol right there. That dude, that man has put his time and his effort and his place here. And for us over at American Gym Boxing, we have a Parkinson's class that actually is in there. And they call it Rock Steady Boxing. And it's pretty cool because I teach my guys on the same days that they have the class, around the same time. It's humbling because when they hit the speed bags, we're right there, we're on the mats, and when somebody wants to use a speed bag, we step off and we're kind of like, they do the thing. And it's kind of like, it's one of those things where you just pay it forward. I think Muhammad Ali did that for a lot of athletes, and it's up to us younger guys to keep that going.
I had one other question, if I could. The story that came out tonight, an old friend of yours and former coach, Brock Lesnar, close to coming back to the UFC. I'm wondering if he reached out to you about this new era. Have you talked to him recently?
I talked to him mostly around the holidays, and when I sent him a picture of my baby, what's up, Uncle Brock? So he responded back. He's cool. I think it's awesome. I think it's dope. He's got a couple of things that he can do. If you can do somersaults off of a top rope, I think you can hit a couple of Imanari rolls.
RDA versus Alvarez. Who do you think takes that one? Is there either a fighter that you would prefer to fight for the title?
It doesn't matter who's in front of me. I said I was going to pick apart this whole entire division. I really did. And that's why I'm not afraid to take any person that calls me out or take a chance to even go up to 170. But when I signed on dotted line for 155, I said I was going to wipe out this division. So next would be Alvarez. Pettis is gone. I picked apart Edson Barbosa with most respect, and Edson Barbosa picked apart Anthony Pettis. I was telling you guys a long time ago that I would pick apart Pettis. But he's out of the question. But when he goes, his rank goes higher than mine, then he'll be there on the spot. But as far as RDA and Alvarez, I think Alvarez has got his conditioning needs to be in check. I think RDA is going to come out with the victory. And so regardless if it's Khabib, RDA, and I have to wait another one to fill in the gaps, we'll find another replacement. We'll find somebody else we have to fight. And that title will be here in California someday, again. Good. Well, it is right now, but it'll be in the right hands.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.